Hello everyone, I hope you're all well. I've come on, I'm going to do some slow stitch. Now I started a video just now and I didn't like where it was going, I wasn't happy with it, so I'm going to do something else. If I'm looking for a big piece of back cloth that I can then turn into something, either 2 panels or maybe even one long panel. Actually I was thinking about sort of a journal cover, and I'm just wondering, I've got a lot of scraps here, but I could go into my other things and see if I can get a nice big piece, but I think I'll start with this piece. Let's just do some slow stitch. So I'm just wondering, I'll take that away because I'm not going to use that. Let me have a look. I had a piece that was square. Let me see. Here it is. Well, not square, it's a rectangle, but never mind. Yeah, I quite like this. I think I'm going to work with this. Just, I think it's nice. Quite like a bit of gold with blue, although the contrast of I might cut a piece off. Excuse me. So I hope everybody's well, and I hope you enjoyed, if you watched it, my foraging video. I know it's a bit random for those of you who have not long been on my channel. You might not be aware that I have it's a very small home apothecary, and so I create various home remedies, and I also forage for food, so mostly herbs, to be fair, but I do forage for food as well, mainly for drinks and things like that. Okay, I think it's going to go better down here. There. So do I stick with blue and gold? That's nice. I think I'm going to take that away as well. Sometimes let's have a piece of this. Yeah, sometimes you want to sort of stick with similar shapes and what have you. I like, sometimes I'm just picky. So I made this a little while ago. I don't know if I showed you it. Really pretty little snippet roll thing. Maybe I did show you it, but yeah, I'm really happy with that. That was really nice. A lot of blues in there as well. See if I've got anything here. Oh, got a bit of this ticking, which I'll use sparingly. As far as I know, this ticking is from I'm going to put that there. Oh, no, I can't put it there. Can I? That's nice. Well, yes, it was from a lady who was selling pieces of fabric for Japanese fabric. I've got a piece of this denim. I'll try this. It does look dark, but I'm going to try a piece. There. Oh yeah, I think that goes well there. I mean, the difficulty is that you want them to overlap. There. So I might have to I put it like that, and then I might have to put small pieces in between, which is fine. I like doing that anyway, you know, to sort of create a link. Got this lovely piece. Quite like the idea of having it down, or maybe there, I don't know actually, there. Yeah, because we've got a pattern here and here. Okay, so we're getting there. Right, is that too similar to that? I'm going to try a little piece. I think I'll go for a square of sorts. I should be looking at what I need rather than there. Yeah, like that. A little bit of this, but there's a lot of beige in there, isn't there? I don't mind beige though. There's that piece of cloth again. That's nice. I might use a piece of that. See, I don't know if this is going to work, but let's see. Yeah, I like that. There. Okay, so I've put together my piece, and I'm just going to sew it on now using a basting stitch, just to get everything you know, down. And then I don't know why that is a little bit skewy, but it doesn't matter. I mean, it's not meant to be perfect. So for those of you who know, right, what have I done here? Okay, I'll just pull it towards me a little bit. So do long stitches at the back and short stitches at the front, and it'll just baste it down. I'll try and, I mean, I'm not too worried about it being perfect, because, you know, I'm going to be over stitching, slow stitch. And that wasn't in a straight line at all, so like I say, I'm not worried. I can't even remember what I've talked about. I think I've just been too busy trying to get all my pieces down. So I don't think I said anything. Like, just that's there, and I'll put that there, and I'll put that there. Anyway, I hope you're enjoying the videos that I'm putting out recently, since, you know, I came back after Christmas, and I just feel I'm just doing what I feel like doing at the time. I'm not stressing about it, and I don't want to start, you know, with all of that again. I'm happy as I am, just pottering along and not worrying about who's watching and all of that sort of thing. So, and I hope that's okay with you guys. I'm aware that people have disengaged particularly with the comments section, but also with numbers. And that's okay, you know, that's just how it goes when you take time off, or when you know, you're not worried about numbers, you know, when you're not concerned about who's watching and all of that sort of thing. I just don't want to go back there. You know, people can still buy me a coffee if they wish. I've got my coffee page, but you know, that's not obligatory at all. Well, it's not, you know, there's no suggestion of it ever being that way. It's just something that I set up originally for membership, but then I decided not to bother going down that route, because I don't want to exclude anybody. I like to keep it oh, my back, available for anyone. Sorry, my back is really bothering me. Yeah, I went out. I had my sister's dog just for a while, and then I was at her house looking after her, Missy, her name is, and then I thought I'd go and do you know, some foraging, because I knew Hazel Catkins are out, and that's why I did that film. I don't normally film like that. I've done one in the past, and then I uploaded it, and for some reason I don't know if it was taken down or if I accidentally deleted it. I never looked into it, and I've lost that video now. I don't know where it is. But that was a proper full-on video of foraging, berries and all sorts of things. So yeah, it's a shame that didn't survive. But I don't, you know, this isn't a channel just about herbal remedies. This is about lots of different things: books, journaling, creating. But my still room apothecary has been a big part of my life over the past however many years, and it's where the still room came from, you know, the idea. Okay, so now I'm going to just I'll hop along to here, and I'll start stitching along here. If you hear me grunt, it's my back is killing me right now, and I'm trying to decide whether to continue, or, you know, because every time I move it sort of jars. But I want to continue. I want to do the slow stitch. I love slow stitching. I hope you enjoyed the reading as well I did last week. Or was it this week? I don't even know where we are. Kate Bradbury reading about February in the spring. I just thought that was beautiful, and having made those little books, I didn't want to put it to music or anything, or I just wanted to talk about spring. That particular, I don't know if it's a passage from a book, or she wrote it specifically for the almanac, the 2025 almanac, because I know people do write things for that specifically, so I don't know if she did that, or if it didn't say, might have said in the credits or anything, or, you know, in some way, but I haven't looked. I just saw that her name was mentioned as the author, but it is a lovely passage. Not sure what I'll do with this. I mean, I was what I originally thought about doing was these panels that will sort of like a topper for a book, and that might be the case. I may well do that, you know, just use it as a topper for a book. I think it would look quite nice and different, but I'll think about it. Don't know why I'm doing that to myself, bending my hand that way. My new little slow stitch project. I'm looking forward to doing this because I've been working on something else, and I'm just, you know, it's not boring. I love doing it. It's very relaxing, but it's nice to do something else as well, you know, something different. All right, I'm gonna just come across here. I think I need a cup of tea. Might have a herbal tea. I'm talking about herbs. That's the other thing I need to do. I mean, I did start to go through my apothecary just to see what herbs I had and what, you know, was sort of been there too long. Because, I mean, they do last a good while, but you don't want them hanging around for years. You want nice fresh ones. Particularly if you want them to, you know, have any potency. For example, for a remedy. I mean, I drink herbal teas every day. Sometimes they're my own, and sometimes they're, you know, bought. Right. So, I mean, most of it's down. I just need to sort of tidy it up a little bit, you know, finish off. But I'm liking it. I really like it, and I think it'd look lovely on her journal, you know, as a topper. But it would have to be quite a big journal. And then maybe put some lace or something on the top. I did have a piece of lace. I thought maybe I'll put that on the top. Or actually, yeah, something like that would be nice. Particularly of the blue. You know, just to create some nice texture, and maybe a little bit on the corner like that. Yeah, but we'll see. Right, so I'm going to leave it here, and I will come back to do some more sewing. Hi, so I'm back. I had a bit of a break. I left it overnight, and this is what it looks like, for, you know, sewn down to some extent, but I didn't feel the need to, you know, sew these areas here because everything is sewn to some extent, so that's fine by me. Right, so what I thought I'd do now is do a little bit of slow stitch using some of my threads. I've been thinking about which ones to use. I don't know whether to go with the dark one. That one's quite nice. Don't think I'm going to go with grit there, but let's see. I hope you're all doing well. I've got this blue. This is the last of this blue. I don't have any more left. As you can see, I always get it It always becomes tangled like that, but it will untangle. Just looking to see if I've got any more of any. Quite like that. I think that's new. I don't remember that one. Let's see if there's anything else. Oh, I've got a lovely pail on there. Okay, well, we've got a few to start with. I might start with a dark colour first. I think I'm going to use this blue, even though you know, my where it's running short. Should I do one strand or two? One strand is pretty strong. Have a look. I think I'm going to go one, you know. I usually use two. It's rare that I'll use embroidery floss with one strand, but let's try it, see what happens. Yeah, so I left it overnight. I was going to come back to it, but decided to leave it overnight. But I had some time left, you know, to be able to do this, so I thought I'd come back. I'm just going to move my wire. Oops, move my wire a little bit over. It's distracting. There we go, that's better. I'll just check everything's working fine. Yeah, I'll move these a little bit to one side. And my back is still really painful. I'm not sure what's, you know, how to work with it yet, but I will. I'm going to start on this side. Yeah, I mean, I'm using heat to try and, you know, stop some of the, stop it from being so painful, you know, so jarring. Well, I just don't know what to do about it. I mean, I do have degenerative disc disease, so, you know, it's not completely, and I have quite a few discs that are, you know, that herniated, but, you know, they settle down, although I still get pain from them. They settle down in terms of injury, but I really feel like I've injured it. I remember thinking that maybe one of my discs is blown again. You know, a new disc maybe. I don't know. I'm just going to make sure that I'm comfortable. Sorry. It seems to be worse in this chair actually, but I'm not sure what I can do about it really. I have a heat jacket that I wear, which is really comforting, but because I feel that this is an injury as opposed to just, you know, chronic pain, I think, you know, it's not going to help it in the long term. I think it probably needs some sort of intervention. So anyway, try not to go on about it. It's just sitting here probably isn't helping, but, you know, I really wanted to get this video done and do some slow stitch with you guys, so that's what I'm doing. And then you know, I would be sitting here anyway, because when you know, when I'm at home, I need to be occupied, and so yeah, I couldn't not come in my craft room and do something. And I don't want to be, although the room needs a good tidy up, I don't want to be doing that. I don't want to be bending down or anything. It's a lovely day. Well, it's a sunny day. The sun's come out. It wasn't earlier. It was quite miserable, and it was raining, but the sun's come out and it's actually looks quite nice out there now. which is good, because yesterday you would have noticed that I had the lights on and my shadow over the table. Well, you'll notice it, the difference in the film from yesterday to today. So I hope you're all doing well, and finding joy in the little things. Very difficult at the moment. I'm not going to go into politics, but things are very, very difficult at the moment, and I think we're all trying to find ways of coping. You know, this is very much, we can easily go into trauma mode, because it is traumatizing seeing what's happening in the world right now. And you know, I think we have to support each other in whatever way we can, and speak up when there is something that bothers us, but also don't get into any sort of battles over it, because honestly it's not going to change anything. The only thing, if you're feeling outraged for whatever reason, you know, it doesn't matter what side you're on, you know, protest. Use these, I wasn't going to go into this flower, but I think I will. No, I think I'm going to stop here. So what I will do is I will just go back through there, and then I will, but I do want to try and include it in this way. So I'll turn it around. So I love this. This is rust dyed. Right. So I'm going to go here. Try not to go too far down. Now, because this is a dark colour, you're going to see any sort of, you know, if you want to call them mistakes, any sort of wibbly wobbliness. Now, sometimes I don't mind wibbly wobbly, and I even welcome it, but I'm not sure today. I'm not sure if I just want this nice and as straight as possible. So so we question ourselves, I think, you know, when it comes to slow stitch, just not worrying where the stitches will go. I can't think of the word for it, but you know what I mean. So or what, you know, whether they're straight and things like that. Now I love slow stitch, and it does relax me, but I also like order in some way, in some fashion, you know, when I'm working. And yeah, you know, when I do something like this, it's very exposing. For example, this particular thread and these this colour and these fabrics, then, you know, I want it to have a look that's pleasing, even, you know, so yes, so I'm happy to take that little bit extra time and be careful, and I do believe that's part of slow stitch. You know, it's whatever suits your temperament. You can meditate by being careful. You can be mindful, but mindfulness is being careful. So there shouldn't be any rules about what we do, you know, is what I'm saying. You do it your way, and just don't worry if you're feeling like me, the need to be extra the word that I'm looking for. Just careful. So I'm going to just do 3 lines, and then I might stop at 3. What's interesting about these fabrics is that there's a lot of stripes in there. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then the rest are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If you count 8. Yeah, so if you count that one twice, that's 8. Yeah, that's nice. Nice balance. And I like the balance, you know, in the way that it looks as well. Bobby's fast asleep on the end of my bed at the moment, snoring, and yeah, he sort of does a little chirp when he snores sometimes as well. Well, he chirps and snores, so it's both, which is cute. But he wasn't cute. I forgot to yeah, no, I'm still in the same. I forget that I'm doing a second video, but I'm not really. This is going to be one video, even though, you know, it's the next day. But yeah, so you will notice some marks on my arm from where I'm not wearing a t-shirt. Obviously I'm wearing my jumper now. It's not wearing a jumper, I mean, here. He did those. I was stroking him. I was in bed and he was on the floor next to my bed. And, you know, when he comes into the room, sometimes he'll just sort of want to say hello, just by sitting and meowing at me. Not much, because I respond straight away. You know, he doesn't go crazy or anything. So it's just a little meow, a couple of little meows, and then, you know, I'll say hello, and then he settles down. And this morning, I think he must have been agitated about something. It's possible that he was chasing mice and they got away, because when this happens, he does seem to, or when he's been in the house for a few days and it's horrible weather outside, he gets agitated. And when he gets agitated, he starts to attack your feet as you go past, or your legs. So anyway, I put my hand down, gave him a little tickle under his chin, and then he launched into an attack on my arms. He grabs hold of me with his little paws, with his claws out. Not completely fully out. There is some restraint there, which is interesting. So there is an element of, I'm going to do this, but I'm not going to go a full-on attack. And then he bit me. So he grabbed me with his claws and his full use of his arms, wrapped them around me as if I was going to be his prey, and then, you know, bit me. And I knew that he was restraining himself with the biting. I could tell that he was agitated, but he was restraining himself, but he wanted to bite me. So that's what he did. As soon as I, you know, yell, he stops. So it's not like I have to fight him off. He will stop, but it's horrible. And when he attacks, his face is very aggressive looking. Horrible. I just wish he wouldn't do it, you know. I know cats do that sometimes, but it's just not nice. And Bobby isn't, he seeks affection, and he will give affection. He always thanks you when you feed him, which I think is super cute. He nudges you and thanks you, which he's done that right from the very start as a kitten. So yeah, that's my little cat Bobby, you know, maiming me. But yeah, my sister has 2 cats, and my sister, you know, they're so gorgeous cats, absolutely beautiful cats. And their faces are beautiful, and one's a tabby, and he's like a little tiger. He's adorable, everybody loves him. The other one, so Simba is tabby, and Lizzie is a white and multicoloured one, and she is very needy, but she's also quiet, and you know, she can be needy. She meows a lot if you're sitting down. She wants to be part of you sitting down and rubbing her and giving her attention, which I think is fair enough. You can see that I've sort of gone a bit wider there. My sister Jo said, well, you know, Simba does that sometimes, but I've never seen Simba in any way. I know he does hunt sometimes, but yeah, sometimes we don't see that side of our cats. You know, I mean, Simba's never done that to me, but they just get irritated and agitated for whatever reason. Should I now do a different, you know, carry on? Should I, even though I just threaded my needle, or should I, you know, do something else? I think I'm going to stop here and then do something else. There we go. Right. Let's see now. I'm going to use this thread here somewhere. So maybe I should do this. So that's what I'm going to do. So let's see. I will cross over again, and that's so that I can tie in the two pieces of fabric. Sorry if I'm slightly out of frame. Yeah, I think maybe I should have made sure everything was, you know, fastened down properly. I've been a bit messy. Put that under there. No, I don't. No, I don't want that under. I want it over. So that's going to come over there like that. Okay, good. We've made our decision. And I need to pin it because I don't feel it's wandering. Good. All right. Yeah, my little cat story. My daughter and grandchildren and a partner coming up here. It's Easter, and then my sister and I and my niece who live up here, because my daughter lives in the south. So my sister Jo and niece Ellie are going away for a few nights So we're just in the process of booking a cottage. So it looks like this year is going to be a few little breaks away like that, which is lovely. You know, I had a big holiday last year. I was lucky enough to have that. But it seems that this year is going to be more short breaks, you know, in little cottages and things, which I love. That's one of my favourite things to do. I mean, we've always done it as a family, and we always have an amazing time. And we always choose really beautiful cottages in the countryside, you know, different places, different scenery and things to do, places to walk and what have you. So anyway, as you know, probably if you've been just wondering whether to go. I'll do just one little stitch here. Yeah, if you've been listening to my channel for a while, or watching my channel rather, you might know that I had planned to go to Bronte country, which is down in southwest Yorkshire. I think it's southwest Yorkshire. I know it's West Yorkshire, but I don't know. I think it's anyway. It's West Yorkshire, and I've been wanting to go, and I was, you know, looking. I booked a place for me and my friend June that went away recently, but then the place got cancelled because it got flooded in the cellar, and because it was last minute, there wasn't anything suitable that I liked anyway in that area that I wanted to be. So I just thought to myself, well, you know, we'll go somewhere else, another area, and then I'll come and do Haworth again another time. And anyway, I was tasked with finding a cottage for us, and I found one. It's absolutely gorgeous, very luxurious, you know, sort of king-size beds for the three of us each, you know, one each, three of us each, and you know, all our own bathrooms, just beautiful, and a hot tub, and it's really close to Haworth and Hebden Bridge, which is one of the areas that people like to visit. So I am over the moon that, you know, we've chosen that area, and that I am in fact going to go. I mean, I was going to go on my own, but it will be so much nicer having, well, I hope so. I mean, you know, they may not want to go up to the Bronte parsonage. So Bronte country is just basically this area in Yorkshire where the Brontes lived, you know, the sisters Bronte and the brother and father, and the mother, of course, but she passed away earlier, I believe. But they were a very talented family, all of them, in terms of creativity, and yeah, so they all did this writing, and the brother did, you know, painting, and the sisters did as well. They were very creative in terms of sketching and painting and things, and writing poetry and their books. So there were two sisters that, I think there were two that people haven't heard of, mostly, unless you're a Bronte, you know, enthusiast. And I'm reading a book, and I'm going to find out a bit more about them, but I don't know much about them. One of you might know more, especially if you live in that part of the country. But what's interesting to me is all of them, apart from Anne Bronte, I think it's Anne, were buried in the churchyard in Haworth, you know, where the church in Haworth is where they all lived, the parsonage, and the church was where the father preached. or worked. And now I don't know if actually whether the two sisters actually went to the parsonage. I don't know if that was in their time. I don't know if they passed away before they got to the parsonage, because he worked in that area for a long time before they actually got to that part, I think, the dad. He was Irish, he came from Ireland, and he was very, very bright. Managed to get into Oxford, I think. You know, having come from a very lowly family, you know, no money, very, very much peasant people, and but he was very bright, and he managed to get there. I think he seemed, from reading his story, he seemed not only to be bright, but also I'm trying to think of the right word. When somebody sees opportunities and goes for them, opportunistic, but in a good way, I guess, for him anyway, and his family, and that's important. You know, he was, and he, you know, in a time where women weren't encouraged to write and that sort of thing, he did encourage his daughters. So again, a man who saw potential, not just in, you know, his son, but he also saw potential in his daughters, and he gave them the freedom and the opportunity. Yeah, he gave his daughters those opportunities, which in those days wasn't, you know, obviously, you know, although he came from a very working class and poor background, he gave himself opportunities, used them to find a way to improve his life and that of his family, and then improved them by encouraging them to read, read and to write and to make art and, you know, educate themselves and what have you, which is amazing. Right. I like that. Just wondering whether to leave it or do a little. I think I'll do a little bit more, just a little bit. But yeah, so yeah, what I was saying is that they were all buried in the churchyard in Howth, where they lived most of their lives. But apart from the one sister, now I just wonder about that. You know, why she's, I don't know if it matters to anyone, but I sort of feel sad about it. You know, I haven't found out the reason why she lived in the different areas, in that area, I guess, so that would be the reason why. But you know, could she not have been brought back home to her family, or was it her family, you know, lived there and that was the end of it, type of thing? They all died young. In fact, I believe, I might be wrong in this, but as far as I can recall, the dad, or the father of them, he survived all of his children. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? He must have wondered about, you know, being a man of God. He must have wondered why, you know, it must, I imagine that it must have tested his faith in some way, to lose his whole family bit by bit, and for him to survive them all. That's shocking. not so shocking when you consider the times, because people died young from disease. And in fact, I saw a program about, or read, I can't remember if I read or saw a program, might have been a YouTube video about the conditions in that house at that time. It was absolutely appalling conditions to live in for the poor people in particular. I'm sure the Brontes were, you know, a little bit more cushioned from some of that poverty, that, you know, that terrible poverty that people lived in. But there were, you know, the disease in that part of that area, or that town, was terrible, because, and I think it was due to drainage and problems and things like that, mould, damp and drainage, so that, you know, water was contaminated and things like that. And no doubt Mr. Bronte would have fought for that as the vicar or priest. You know, fought for better conditions. Maybe he was the one who changed things, because I think there was change. I think change happened and things improved for people. And now, of course, it's a beautiful little cobbled street town or village, with independent shops selling overpriced things. And I'm not knocking that, I'm just saying. You know, when you think of its beginnings, or not so much its beginnings, but you think back to that time and how the Brontes have made it famous, but, you know, it's in some ways it's a bit of a facade. To well, it's progress, but it's also very poignant when you think of what they had to live with in those days. I think I'm going to leave that one there. That sort of ties in with the edge of, well, maybe not, but it goes a little bit further, which is good. I don't want anything to be too sort of straightened, if you like. I'm wondering whether to, no, I think I'll use a paler colour for that. Okay. Slow stitch goes by very fast. Yes, let's do this. I need to think about how I'm going to do this. I think I'm going to use, well, I'll start just by putting a couple of stitches in. I need to learn some more stitches really, because I'm not very I don't know many, you know. I know them and then I forget them, and then I think, how did I do that? So I'm pretty sure I could use a much better stitch than just doing this, but I want to get it down, and then I might go over it with something else. All right, now didn't catch this on the edge, so it's going to have to be quite big stitches. I'm going to go this way, and I'm going to just pop in there a minute. So I'm just trying to find a way to get this down and be not just secure, but not popping up. Otherwise I'm going to have to put something over it. And I don't mind putting like a bit of lace or something there, you know, to keep it in place. But I want to try this first. Let's just see. Let's see. Now, what shall I put here? Maybe do a little circle. I might just go to the end here just to finish off. But I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the edges of this. Well, it would be nice to maybe do a pattern on this. I'm just going to make my way around a little bit. This cloth is fraying very easily. It's like a linen type of cloth, but frays easily because it's so chunky, the threads. Sorry, oops. Right, coming to the end. Yeah, I'm going to have to end off here because it's, you know, time and all that. There we go. Okay, well, I didn't get much done, but, you know, we had a nice long chat. Nice to have my morning coffee with you guys. Actually, I didn't drink my coffee, I didn't finish it, but still nice just to sit and chat and while away the hours. But I will continue working on it and look for different stitches that I could do that I don't normally do, because I normally just stick to the same stitches. I enjoy that. Right, so oh, excuse me, I'm going to say goodbye and see you again very soon with another video, and I hope you're enjoying my videos. Please let me know in the comments, and for those of you who are not yet subscribed, it would help me if you would subscribe. You know, I'll try and do more of everything. I will do more of everything. I know what try. I will be doing more of everything. So, you know, hopefully there will be something in my repertoire that you will enjoy. So, in the meantime, take care, everyone, and be safe and be well, and look after yourself. Bye for now.